Well, hello there, my good, faithful YouTube viewers and listeners. It is the Jer Bear. Today's date is Monday, March 28th, 2022. Thanks for stopping by. I hope you're all doing well. There is a daily rant today. I have to rant about something. It's not anything to do with me. It's something that happened on a more national scale. I'm sure you've all heard about what happened with Chris Rock and Will Smith at the Oscars last night, so I'm going to rant about that a little bit. But first, I'm going to preface what happened, and I'm going to do it as briefly as possible. So, what happened was Chris Rock had made a remark about Will Smith's wife being bald. He had said something to the tune of, G.I. Jane Part 2, because if you remember, G.I. Jane, Demi Moore, was bald, I guess, or had short hair. And, Will Smith, he was laughing at the jokes at first, and then the next thing we know, he gets up out of his seat, he walks up to the podium where Chris Rock is standing, and he fucking smacks him in the face, and then he goes and takes a seat again. Now, there's a lot of turmoil with that, a lot of controversy going on with that, as there should be. So I'm going to give my thoughts about this and just say that Chris Rock, I understand that Chris Rock is a comedian. He's always been one of my favorite comedians, and Will Smith has always been one of my favorite actors. I have been a fan of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air since I was a kid. I used to watch it all the time, and between the two, I mean, they're really both of them are really talented guys, and to see that display, it's disgusting. And first of all, before I actually get to my thoughts about what happened, I just want to say that I don't follow celebrities closely enough to know what's going on, what food they're eating, what clubs they're hanging out at, what restaurants they're going to. I don't give a fuck about what happens in Hollywood or Hollyweird or whatever you want to call it. I don't follow celebrities closely enough to really give a fuck about how they carry on with their daily lives. But this particular story had, it's all over the internet. It has been all over the news today, and it's all over Facebook. And so that's why I'm doing a daily rant to kind of give my thoughts about this situation. Again, Chris Rock and Will Smith, two very talented guys. They're very seasoned in their work. And, I've always been a fan of Chris Rock and Will Smith, both of them. But as a childhood cancer survivor, I gotta say, Chris, although your comment, you're trying to smuggle this in as a joke, was very insensitive, and I understand you're a comedian, and, people shouldn't, be so weak-minded or pussified at a joke, and I understand that. But as a childhood cancer survivor, you also have to understand that there are people, especially children, they are very self-conscious about their appearance and their image, and that also applies to adults as well. It's obvious that Jada Pinkett Smith is ill, which is resulting in her baldness, her alopecia, and Chris, you should have taken it down a notch. You should have not made the remarks you've made about Jada Pinkett Smith. You were in the wrong. Now, Will Smith, although his anger was justified, because I'd be severely pissed if someone was saying stupid shit about my girlfriend or wife or whatever. I would be furious. However, he was in the wrong too. That does not give you the right to put your hands on anybody. This is the second time we know for a fact that Will Smith has put his hands on somebody. Any other time, I'm not aware. I don't know if there are other times. I've not heard anything about Will Smith attacking or hitting anybody. But there was at one time, I think it was a news reporter or a photojournalist, a photographer. He smacked somebody, or it's been a while, so I really don't remember. I think they kissed him or hugged him, or I don't remember. But it was something to that effect anyway. And now we're dealing with this with Chris Rock. I'm sorry, Will. I understand that you are frustrated. You got heated because someone was making a derogatory statement about your wife. I'm sorry, sir, but that does not give you the right to put your fucking hands on anybody. at all. You don't get to do that. Now, when he took a seat, I mean, he smacked Chris Rock right upside the fucking head. I mean, the video's all over, Facebook and probably on YouTube somewhere. I'm sure it is. If you look on the internet, you can do a Google search and find the video. So then Will Smith had taken his seat and he says, "You keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth," or something to that tune anyway. The fuck word was used. And, Chris Rock being the guy he is, he says, "Man, it was just a joke. I mean, just relax. It was a G.I. Jane joke, And he says, you keep my wife's name out your motherfucking mouth." And it's like, wow. So they both behave badly. I'm not taking sides. I'm not sticking up for Chris Rock, and I'm not sticking up for Will Smith. They both behaved very badly. And being men, being gentlemen, what should have happened, and this is just my opinion, what should have happened is Will Smith should have pulled Chris Rock to the side, like backstage or somewhere, and he should have had a one-on-one conversation with Chris, and he should have said, "You know what, Chris? I understand you're a comedian. I understand that is your line of work, that is your trade, but your jokes about my wife are upsetting me and my wife and my family. They are very insensitive to my wife, and I would appreciate it, or at least ask you if you could refrain from making cracks about my wife and her being bald." That's what should have happened. And if Chris Rock is a man, and I'm not saying he's not, but being the gentleman he is, he should have replied to that by saying, "You know what, Will, you're right. I fucked up. I made a big mistake. I'm sorry. It won't happen again. I didn't realize that my jokes were insensitive, although you should use common sense." But he should have, that should have happened. That conversation should have happened. It shouldn't have resulted in, Chris Rock making a joke, no matter how derogatory. It shouldn't have resulted in that, and it sure as hell shouldn't have resulted in Will Smith engaging in violence. These are people, especially Will Smith. He's, got a lot of kids looking up to him and everything, and it puts a very, very, very bad image on Will Smith. And Chris Rock, too. Chris Rock, he's not off the hook. Neither one of them are off the hook. They should have had a genuine conversation between two guys, and they should have said, "You know what? Let's resolve this like men, peacefully." Now, I don't know if Chris Rock apologized to Will Smith or Jada Pinkett Smith. I have no idea what happened behind the scenes. I haven't read any reports or anything like that, but if it hasn't happened yet, it should happen. Chris Rock should be man enough to say, "You know what, man? You're right. I fucked up. I made a mistake. Let's make amends." We're both very talented people. We're hard workers. We're very seasoned in what we do. I'm an actor comedian. You're a Grammy Award winner. You're an actor. You're very popular. The kids look up to you. Come on, man. Let's resolve this issue. This is stupid. It shouldn't have happened. Come on, man. Let's make amends here. Let's try to work something out. That's what should have happened, but it didn't. And I'm also a fan of Jaden Smith, Will Smith's son Jaden. He's, the Karate Kid. I like that movie, and I didn't know this, but we actually share a birthday. But Jaden, I just read a report that Jaden is encouraging the behavior of his dad. Well, this is how we do things. I'm sorry, Jaden. I'm going to draw the line and disagree with you as well. That's not how you handle situations. Especially when you have children looking up to you guys. This is not how you should conduct your business. Your dad was in the wrong, Jaden. I'm sorry. I know these people aren't listening to anything I have to say. But Will Smith was in the wrong. Chris Rock was in the wrong. They were both wrong. And, I don't know if they're going to make a truce. It should happen, in my opinion. It should happen. And, they should be gentlemanly enough to say, "You know what, man, I shouldn't have put my hands on you," and the other guy should say, "You know what, I shouldn't have said what I said about your wife. It was blatant disrespect. Would you please accept my apology? Can we move on from this? And can we be friends? Can we, patch this up and move on?" That would have been the right thing to do. But I don't know if it happened. I don't know if it happened. I don't know if I don't know. There's no reports coming out that Will Smith had actually talked to Chris Rock, or if Chris Rock had apologized. Now, Will Smith, and this is something else I wanted to talk about. At the end of the Oscars, which, by the way, I don't watch the Oscars religiously. I don't watch it at all, so I could really fucking care who wins an Oscar. But he had this tearful, and I'm using air quotes. I know you can't see it, but I'm using air quotes when I say tearful because it was a big shit show. That was nothing more than the works of a very gifted, talented actor putting on a show. And he apologized to the Academy. He apologized to everyone in that room except for Chris Rock. So, and he was even laughing about it. So it's like, what the fuck is this? What am I watching? Well, I guess Will Smith had gone on a little speech, a little spiel about, I want to be a vessel of love. He's trying to preach to everybody about love when he just assaulted a man on stage and the whole fucking world saw it. Like, are you kidding me right now, Will? Again, I've always been a fan, but dude, don't be pulling that shit on people. You're not fooling anybody. You're not fooling me. I just thought it was in very extremely poor taste. You're gonna assault a man on stage, and then at the end of the show, you're gonna preach about love, and you're gonna, I want to be a vessel of love, and I want to be a this and a that, and it's like, wipe your fucking fake tears, dude. You are a very gifted actor. You've had years of training and years of experience at learning how to cry on cue. So that was just like perfect timing right there. Perfect timing. So it's like, you think I'm going to buy into this shit? I don't think so. I don't buy into your tearful apologies and your little spiels and your little speeches about, I want to be a vessel of love. You know nothing about love if you just fucking physically assaulted somebody. You know nothing about love, sir. I'm sorry, but you don't. And Chris Rock, again, he's not off the hook. He's not off the hook. And I understand he was just trying to be funny. But sometimes you have to know where the line is drawn. You have to know where the line is drawn. Some comedians just don't give a fuck. Like George Carlin, he never gave a fuck. And I think that's why so many comedians, they mirror his behavior, or they look up to him, and they see him as a pillar, or as a moniker, so to speak, of being a comedian. So that I understand. Because George Carlin was that kind of guy. He just didn't give a fuck. But, Chris Rock, again, a very talented comedian, an awesome actor. I've always been a fan of his work, and I've been a fan of Will Smith's work. I've got autographs from Chris Rock and Will Smith, by the way, in my collection. But it's like, you guys, that shit show that went on at the Oscars last night, that was pathetic. You guys should have handled your business like men and not engaged in violence or being insensitive to someone else's situation. I mean, it was really fucking awful. If you guys haven't seen it, I'm sure if you do a Google search, you're going to find the video. If you're on Facebook, you're going to find the video. It's all over the news. It's all over the internet. It's all over Facebook. It's all over social media in general. But it was just awful. It was awful. And my only opinion, like I said, is that they acted very poorly. They were both in the wrong. And again, I can understand. If someone said something horrible about my wife or my girl, it's going to piss me off. It's like, don't you fucking talk about my woman like that, man. Don't you fucking disrespect my wife or my girl. Don't you fucking do that to me or my family. Don't you disrespect my family. That I can understand. He's justified by saying, don't fucking disrespect my family or keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth. That I'll say that he was justified saying that, even if he did drop an F-bomb a couple of times. Well, big deal. But he had no right to put his hands on Chris Rock. That was a very extremely poor taste. Chris Rock, you shouldn't have made an insensitive remark about someone who has an obvious medical condition. You know, you shouldn't have done that. It was in poor taste. And, Will Smith hitting him was in very poor taste. Neither one of them are off the hook. And that's just my opinions on what happened last night. I wanted to make sure that I voiced my opinion, and I wanted to share my opinions. And I'm sure someone out there agrees. If you agree, disagree, doesn't make a difference, leave a comment in the comment section on this video here. And I'll make sure I go through and read all of your comments and see what you guys have to say. But this is going to be a very quick daily rant today. I've got other things I got to do. My name is Jared Fuller, aka the Jared Bear, and I thank you so much for stopping by and indulging me for a little over 15 minutes or so. But until next time, toodaloo!